Morning everybody, Mark Farrell here, MARKFARRELLGOLF.com. I want to give you some really keen insight to how to shallow this golf club out. I already got a video up on YouTube. You can just find it by going to Mark Farrell PGA in reference to this, but I thought I'd clean it up just a little bit, make it a little bit simpler. I got a little bit, it was a first take, I got a little bit long-winded on it, and I just want you to have a really good understanding of what shallowing out the club means. Well, first of all, let's just go through a hair of technical stuff. The biggest thing that people are trying to get an understanding of is how do you shallow the club out? Well, one of the key pieces is to make sure that you keep, first, let me talk to you like this. Does anybody know what plane means? Plane line, keeping a club on plane, above the plane, below the plane. Let's go over it simply. All right, so here's a plane. This is a horizontal plane, meaning this club is moving horizontally. This is what I would call a vertical plane. The club is moving just vertically, right? This is a tilted plane. The club is on an angle. Say it's 38 degrees or something like that. All right, so what you want to understand is if you can keep the club roughly on plane, why is plane important? Is because if I keep this club on plane, look at the face. The face never moves, it's always square. If I take it off the plane, the face opens up. That means I have too much hands in my swing. So if I just take this club and I kind of skewer myself, meaning put a rod through me right there. So what that means is if you keep this club on plane, this angle should match roughly the same angle at the top. So that looks like it's gone through my body. This is a plane. A lot of people, and if you YouTube anybody, you'll see the club work very vertical or in front or on that plane, okay? This is important because again, if you're not going under or around or above the plane, that means what? Again, the face is staying square. If the face is staying square, what are we gonna get? We're gonna get really good contact, very straight shots. Second swing of the day, let's see. Okay, not bad. Leave that ball over there. Okay, so the whole thing is that you don't want hands in the swing. Hands in the swing is very, it's just not good, okay? It's gonna be a nemesis to you. But that's where everyone's brain ends up landing, is trying to get the club to go faster to the ball. So most people's logical thinking is that get the club to X position here, wherever that might be over there, that might be over here, wherever this is, and then whip it to Y. That's the subconscious trying to create power, where if you look at any sport, anyone who's using a stick or a racket, they're using their legs, their lower body to create this power. All right, I said I was gonna keep this simple. I got a little bit off message there, so let's go back to this. Let's get an understanding of how to shallow the club out. All right, so the first thing that I wanna do absolutely is I wanna keep my hands in front of my body, all right? I wanna make sure my hands are staying in front of my body. Where do I not want this club to go? I don't want my hands to go behind me. You watch any tour player on any tour, male or female, you're gonna see 99% of everyone keeping the club head. If this is my hand line or my toe line right here, so this is toe line, this is hand line, you'll see the club work always outside this hand line, okay? So that just means simple. Take the club back and keep it in front of you or go vertical with it. Because here's why. There's no way you can shallow the club out if you're already too shallow or behind you. How is this? So let's define shallowing. What does shallowing mean? Shallowing means that the club is basically dropping, remember we talked about that plane line, dropping below the plane and coming from the inside. And you know, there's a whole bunch of language out there that says, oh, shallow the club and hit it further, but no one's giving you the reason why. So let's talk about why it's gonna happen and why you're gonna create so much more power. Because when you take the club, first remember, all right, this is where we don't want to go. If I had paint here, and I drew paint, a line of paint right here, okay? Look how far the ball is in front of my body. This is like what club is this? This is an 8-iron. So if I had paint and I did that, that's probably like 16 inches of length that this is in front. So why would I ever want my hands to go behind my body, okay? That's not a good thing, because now I've got to reroute the club. Here's your over the top move. Here's your push to the right. Directionally, it's gonna be very debilitating, and as far as efficiency, horrific. right? Remember, this is all about transfer of energy. It's just simple physics. How do I put energy into this and transfer it to that and make that thing go that way? The only way to do that is to take the club and get it straight back, move your hand straight up, because now when I've done this, what hasn't happened, and this is where everyone gets a little bit confused, because there's so much old school stuff out there that is that you have to turn. Now look where I've done. I've turned, sure, yeah, but look what that has created. I don't know if this is even in the view. So this is like 6 feet of lateral motion that this club has to travel to try to get back to this ball. Now, if I go in my head straight back and then to you straight up, here's what's not gonna happen. Reality straight up, where my forearm's gonna rotate internally like this, and then I'm gonna go like that. This is not gonna happen, okay? So if I go straight back to you, here's a simple move, right? And then in my head, I'm just going vertical. And again, it just needs to live in your head. Where reality is, it doesn't really matter. As long as you think that it's going here, then I'm in the right position. Because look now where the club is, boom. Well, that's pretty much almost where it started, except for the fact that it was behind the ball, and now it's over here. This is a lot less space that the club has to go. My body has turned organically with just a simple thought of straight back. We'll hit one here. Straight back, straight up. Below that, ball came right back to me. Wow, how fortunate. Didn't have to do much walking. So anyway, let's get back to shallowing. How do we do it? Well, we do that by engaging lower body. All right, that's the only way to do that. The only way to get there is you're going to put some, this is getting detailed, you're going to put torque on the shaft. If you have a loose format to your swing and your body, you're going to get there and you're going to create a lot of power. So I did this in my last video, but I'll do it again because it's super important. All right, the easiest way to get the feeling is to softly throw a golf ball or a baseball or a rock or anything down your range. Don't throw a rock, they'll get upset with you if they try to mow. So here's the deal. I'm gonna take this ball and I'm just gonna throw it. So drop the club, and this is the same, so pretty much everyone has this wired in, they've thrown something in their life. You don't have to be a great pitcher to do this. I'm just gonna but the mechanics of it are what's important. So how am I going to throw this? Well, the first thing that's going to happen, my body's going to rock a little bit into my trail leg, okay? So my back leg's going to get loaded. Then what's going to happen is this arm is going to float away from my body. It's going to separate, all right? If I had a ball under my armpit, the ball would fall, okay? You want that. You want that width. You want that space. You want your arms as far away from your body as possible. So you have room to do what? To then release the ball. So I'm going to shift, float, and then quietness in transition, where I'm going to allow my lower body to move first, and then this, which is away from my body, meaning my hands, my arms, is going to do what? It's going to then become narrow, and I'm going to throw the ball. Wow, it came back to me again. Got a good morning going on. So what does this all mean? Is that you have to use your legs. The best way to do that is to not think about it, to make it happen naturally. How do you do it? Well, again, weight follows hands, all right? If I take my club and I go like this, my weight went this way. If I take my club and go like this with my hands, my weight went that way. If I put it into my head, it goes this way. Whoa, if I go like that, it goes forward. So weight follows hands. So if you get that understanding and you allow your arms to move away from your body, everyone's talking about being connected, okay? But that's a tricky dance, and here's why. If I suck my arms into my body and I move with this connection, look what I just did. I just tilted my torso massively. All right, so here's how I'm gonna keep my arms connected to my body. I'm gonna go like this. Look at that. Look at my spine. Where's my spine now? My spine is leaning towards the target. My weight is on my left side. That's gonna create a seesaw action where I'm gonna do what? Well, once the weight's left, it can't go more left. It's going to, unless you're Dustin Johnson, who can then squat out of it and move out of it. Okay, very rare and unique to him. Not a lot of people like him out there, okay? So once my weight is left, because I've kept my armpits together, then I have to seesaw it right. There's gonna be your vertical motion. There's gonna be your top, your miss, your fat. Not good contact. So what do I want you to feel? So I want you to feel that your arms are moving independently of your body. You have to feel disconnected to then get connected. There's something in golf, old masters talked about it a lot, called floating arms. You want your arms to float away from your body. It's the same thing as when I let my arm float away from my body. There, you can see it in lacrosse, arms float away. Tennis, arms float away. Baseball, they start like this, okay? And again, the ball's in front of the body. So everyone has this, usually anyone can make a horizontal or a baseball type of swing. So if I even just say, hey, let's do this, Let's make a baseball swing. Wow, I just made the right motion. Look, I loaded right, my hands are in front, and then I moved with this first. What happened there? Put torque on the shaft dropped, and then I came from the inside. Again, if you want to look at this, just Google Sergio Garcia, and what you're going to notice with him, who probably shallows the club out the most here in this golfing land, is that his club comes up here, and then as he moves his lower body, watch my left hip here, it's going to move first. That puts torque down the shaft. His shaft almost gets horizontal. That's why everyone talks about him, because it's so unique to him. Do not try to copy that move. That's what he grew up with. All right, you'll hit. There's some mystery shots if you try to copy his move. All right, but what you're going to notice is if you can slow him down at impact, he is fully cleared. You have both of his back pockets looking back at the camera, and then this is a down the line shot, and then this club comes through. Okay, a lot of language all there. Let's clean this up and make it simple. Okay, so all I want you to do is I want you to feel that your club's going up in front of you, right? We have a loose format. We're going to allow our arms to move independently away from our body. All right, so if I had two golf gloves in my armpits, I would allow them to what? Fall, okay? Because that's width. All you have to do is hit the ball one-handed. Brain gets it when you go with a one-handed format, right? So if I just go one-handed, what happens? Oh, well, my arm gets away from my body. What doesn't happen? Well, it doesn't go back here. It doesn't go into my body like this. It basically separates out away and then goes here. So if I just hit one here, so slow, then I move with my body, the club naturally comes back to the ball. Why does it come back to the ball? Because the relationship between the club and the ball is fixed. You've lined up something behind something that is not moving. So this is going to come back to that. I really never think about hitting the golf ball. All I think about is moving the weight properly and efficiently, because I know that this club is going to come back to the item that I lined up against it. Okay, what does that look like? Well, it looks like this. I got a basket here. I'm just going to hit the basket. This thing's not moving. I'm not thinking about hitting it because it's much larger. I get it. I get why people think about hitting the golf ball because they've been told. All right, so I'm just going to move this. All right, there. Move that. Transfer of energy. Simple. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing. Here, come back to you. I'm in the screen here. All right. So I'm going to take this club, I'm going to get it vertical. That's going to allow my body to shift, all right? My arms are going to get what? Away from my body. Hands, what happens to weight? It falls, the hands, right? So as I move, my head should move a little bit. If you are totally transfixed on this golf ball, you don't move your head, tricky. You got to work out of it somehow. You want to have a little bit of head motion. Okay, so there I am there. Not a lot, all right, but there's a little bit, and I am totally stacked in this right side. Then, because I'm loaded there, what's gonna happen next? I'm going to push with lower body first. How do I do that? I stay quiet and transition. Most people are over swinging. So here's the key. If you can't hit this shot first, so this is my 10% shot with a full swing. Okay, that's weird, that's like counterintuitive, but golf is counterintuitive. Okay, so here's 10%. So I'm gonna go slow back, slow through. I put a lot of power on that shot with doing 0, okay? That's called what we want to do. Because everyone believes that this swing is linear, meaning more. The faster I go, the more I'm going to get. No, we want to lower the output and increase the efficiency. That's how this game works. The slower, does it look slow on TV? Yeah, there's a reason for it. There's only like 6% of the people out there that are over swinging, right? I'd say there's 98% of the other non-pro population trying to succeed at a high level that are over swinging. So again, you want to hit the small shot first, slow. That's a little quick. All right, I get it. It's early. Why is it key? It's key because when you do this properly, you will allow yourself to transition properly. Here's the key piece. So everyone's talking about shallowing. Everyone's talking about how to do it. Not really, but they're saying if you do it, you're going to hit further, which is a big translation of just use your lower body. So if I take this club, and I go, this posture is a little bit off. So I like to feel that I'm high, I'm tall. So I go from just a little side point. So listen, if you're in perfect posture, how are you going to maintain perfect posture as you come through? Very hard to do unless you've been doing it your whole life like Jason did. All right, so I like to go from high to low. So if I go here, and I feel like I'm going down. I'm gonna put pressure on my feet. I'm gonna use, if you've ever been on body track, you're gonna know this, so that you can feel that you've weighted into your right side. You've got very little weight over here. Then the key is slowness in transition, meaning I'm not rushing the downswing. I'm allowing my weight to shift first, which will naturally allow what? This thing to come back to that, which is, again, is already fixed because these two are not moving and you've lined up this club behind it. I know I've gotten a little long-winded this morning. I apologize, thanks for hanging in there. All right, so again, if I load right, so simplification motion, straight back, straight up, load, soft, relax, loose arms. How is it, let's go to this. How's the club gonna drop if I have the most tight hands on the planet? It can't, because if you put torque on the club with tight hands, it's not gonna fall this way. The reason Sergio Garcia's club almost gets to a horizontal position here is because the hands are soft, right? Because think about it, if you have a death grip left hand, how is the right hand, which is tasked with doing everything, moving, which is really just, you know, pushing the club square and adding all the speed and power. So if I have a tight left hand, I'll put a tight left hand on this one. Let's see what happens to it. Oh, thud, and no good. Didn't like it, a lot of work, no reward. All right, so again, I'm going to simple, one-handed, just with two hands. I'm gonna float my arms away. All right, allow my slowness in transition, and that should allow me to shallow out the club. All right, that's what we're talking about today, is just making sure you can practice this by just, you know, don't make the horizontal super round swing. Put that baseball swing or that horizontal swing in front of you, put your hands in front, and then just feel it in the feet. All right, so what's the difference? Here's the, if I want to break this down super small. What's the difference? Here's a perfect golf swing. Ready? All right, bucket of water, straight back to you, straight there. All right, so if I can do that simple motion and then take a club and kind of feel the same thing. So I'm going to hover the club about here, back to you, straight through, bring it down, back to you, straight through. Again, all I'm thinking is just keeping my hands in front of me, staying loose. All right, back to you, slow, slow. I just had to go a little fast on that one. You know, it's our conscious wiring. All right, I'll bring it back here. Maybe I'm too close, not really sure. Really check the feed here. So, straight back. Wow, that felt great. Hopefully this makes sense. Again, if you take this, here are the takeaways. What are we doing? Straight back to you, allowing your arms to get separated away from your body. That's called disconnection. Then what's gonna happen? You're gonna start with lower body first, right? Then you're gonna Well, what was wide is then gonna become narrow. There's your hip turn, there's your clear, there's everything. How do you get there? You work it small first, all right? Seriously, you can't build the whole house at once, right? You gotta work one room at a time. So soft, loose, really relaxed up here. No chest pressure, no armpit pressure, all right? Slow, all right? So if you can't hit, that was a huge thud with zero work. I put absolutely no effort in that, all right? And that's what you're gonna see on TV. Again, I'm gonna be really relaxed. Hit the small shot first, then just slowly build up to it. Slow. All right, MARKFARRELLGOLF.com. Happy New Year, goodbye 2020, and welcome to 2021. See ya.